Welcome back. So today I kind of just wanted to do like a really casual kind of like chit chat. Sorry, my pants. Kind of like chit chat update, like pregnancy update, and kind of what's been going on and what I've been doing, and surrogacy update as well. I feel like today I've literally been running around with my head cut off, and I feel like I've been doing that all week for like weeks. But it's just because we've been so busy and we're having a snowstorm on like this weekend. So, you know, I feel like I'm trying to prepare for that. And my son right now is outside playing. My youngest is upstairs working on a nap. And so I was like, I'm just gonna quickly go on here and just like update everybody, and hopefully you guys like these types of videos. Yeah, so I had my if you don't know already, I'm a gestational surrogate, and I'm gonna be 29 weeks on Saturday. So I'm almost 29 weeks. And my due date is April 6th. So I just had my 28-week appointment and it went really well. I mean, it was like pretty much like boring almost. My doctor was just kind of like asking me the same question. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? And measured my belly and everything, and said that baby's doing fine. They are having a girl. She's definitely like really mellow compared to my other two pregnancies with my two boys. They just kicked constantly. Like, I feel like I never had a moment where they were like either sleeping or quiet, where this one is like quiet a lot. She's definitely more active at night, which the intended parents have been like, can you like fix that? Because I really like don't want her to have her nights and days mixed up. And I'm kind of like, well, I don't know. I can't really fix that. So the 28-week went fine. I am considered high risk because this is an IVF pregnancy, but so far I don't have gestational diabetes, preeclampsia, none of that. My blood pressure is fine. I just did the glucose test and that came back completely fine. So I'm trying to think how much weight I've gained. I think about like 10 to 15 pounds. So I really like haven't, you know, gained like a substantial amount of weight. I just had to go deal with my son, who is licking the windows, and it's quite cold out. So let's just hope that we don't have a learning experience on our hands. But yeah, it's literally been like super, I don't want to say easy, but just textbook, I guess. And at the 28-week appointment, the intended parents were there, and the father was like, wow, you're like a super easy patient. And I was like, thanks. Like, I really didn't know what to say, but it's been great. I am tired a lot, probably because I have two children that I am still running around with. I am a stay-at-home mom, if you don't know. Only I feel like ailment has just mainly been like the stomach itching, and sometimes it's like a little bit of insomnia or just like tiredness, but that's like pretty general for me for like pregnancies. Both of my keeper pregnancies were very smooth, and my labors were 6 hours and under. My last labor was 4 hours, so we're all hoping that this labor will be fast and quick, and I really hope that that's another thing, like the indigestion is a little bit like, I did just have tacos, so that could be it, but now you want a taco, right? Anyways, so we are hoping that this labor will be smooth. My other two births, if you don't know, were home births. This birth is not planned at home. We are going to be going to my local hospital, which is like 5 minutes down the road from me. So that's like a new experience for me. I am like sort of anxious for that, I guess, because obviously like it's new to me, and like I know that hospitals have protocols, and like the hospital is like kind of more on like the clock. But when we toured the birth center, I was actually like very impressed with their kind of care, and they pretty much let you do whatever you want, which is essentially what that's really like my biggest anxiety is like I want to be able to move around, like, you know, not just be like confined to the bed. Obviously until I'm like pushing, you are sort of like confined, but you know, usually you want to be at that point. But like during the actual labor and like bringing the baby down, I'm kind of like I like need to move. It really like helps with my pain. And I feel like my last pregnancy or my last labor was more painful because I was in the tub and I was like kind of constrained to the tub. As much as like the tub was relaxing, I really just, I felt like I needed to like get out and like walk around. And so I'm kind of actually happy that the hospital like won't allow you to deliver in the tub, and I don't think I'm gonna get in the tub. I might get into this like rain shower thing that they have, but I mainly just want to like be walking around and or squatting or bending or whatever. I really don't want to feel like I'm confined to like the tub. So yeah, and there was something else that I was gonna mention. Oh, so I've been like trying to figure out the whole like breast pumping, breastfeeding thing. I'm not going to be breastfeeding this baby. I am not comfortable with that. I don't think it's appropriate. This isn't my child. I don't really feel the need to. I can just be hooked up to the pump right away. And my intended mother isn't comfortable with me nursing as well. And so I just feel like that's the way it should be. But I've been trying to get a hospital grade pump, specifically the Medela Symphony. And so I've literally been on the phone like for the past, I don't know, couple days, like talking to these people, talking to my insurance, talking to like the people who provide the pump, and like trying to figure out how to get it because it's like $2,000, which like you don't like have to just blow that. And like my insurance only covers it to be a rental, which is fine. I was like, okay, so how do you rent it? And my insurance people were like, oh, well, we don't actually rent that one. You have to like call this number, call that number. They were like, oh, you actually have to call this number. So I'm just like, oh my God, like how do these people like, you know, but I ended up figuring out that the hospital that I'm going to like kind of only works with one company, Arcelin, or I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'll link it down below because you can also order a breast pump from there. So if you're like interested, definitely check it out. But anyways, so it looks like my hospital will only kind of work with this company. So, you know, I like sent in the form or whatever for like the prescription, and they came back to me and I was like, can I please have the Medela Symphony? And they were like, yeah, your insurance covers that rental. And then like we kind of went back and forth between email, and then at the end, you know, when I was like essentially getting ready to figure out how to get like the extra prescription from my doctor, she was like, oh, we actually don't have any in stock. And I'm like, so okay. When will you have them in stock? She's like, we don't know. I'm like, okay. So then I actually ended up calling Medela or Medela. I think it's actually pronounced Medela, so I need to get on track with that. I ended up calling Medela and I was like, what's your like next tier down from like the Medela Symphony? And they were like, oh, the Medela, there it is, the Medela Sonata. And I was like, oh, okay, you know, and kind of asked a little bit about it. I definitely heard of it. I know it's like their newest pump. And she was like, it's supposed to be pretty much not exactly like the Medela Symphony, but essentially like a tier down. And I was like, okay, well, let me check into that. So they had originally sent me this link that was supposed to be something about like which pumps my insurance cover. And the Sonata was on there, but it's actually like an upgrade, so I have to pay like extra money or something for it. But ultimately, I think that it'll work out. So I did sort of like figure that out, but that's been just like a thing. But I actually am like super excited to be exclusively pumping. I really liked pumping with my boys. I didn't exclusively pump. Like exclusively pumping means you don't nurse, breastfeed, you just have the pump. And I only like pumped like once or twice a day, sometimes 3 times, and I loved it. Obviously exclusively pumping is different. Oh, I just had to like run outside and close the door. to our workshop, but I don't really remember what I was saying. Anyways, but I figured out the pump stuff. And I really am excited to actually be pumping. And today I did some like organizing, and I'm gonna start packing the hospital bag, which is like new. Like I didn't need to pack anything when everything was home, but the surrogacy has been going really well. There are definitely horror stories that I've read out there about surrogates having like a really hard time either with the pregnancy or the intended parents or insurance. Like there's a lot of different factors. Obviously I'm gonna link up above the process, so in case you haven't seen that video, like definitely check it out. It's really informative. But I'm really like blessed that our journey has been really good so far, and I'm hoping that it keeps you know, going really well. And we have like so much planned for this year, me and my husband, and it's gonna be a really exciting year. I can just like feel it. So I'm happy that in April we'll be giving the intended parents their baby, and then kind of like moving on to a new chapter in our lives after that. So we're really excited for that, and stay tuned for an updated video on that. I do get the question a lot if I'll be a surrogate again, and I'm really not sure. Like obviously I haven't finished this journey yet, so I, you know, kind of feel like I'm getting ahead of myself, but I feel like I will miss being pregnant because I love being pregnant. So, you know, maybe after like 4 months of pumping, I'll be like, ooh, you know, that pregnancy bug is back again. And my husband will just be like, because his poor wife has been pregnant for the past like 5 years almost. Well, maybe no, like 4 years, but still, like it's been a while. So kudos to my husband for putting up with me, because he's like been just awesome through the whole thing. Grant will probably be starting kindergarten in the fall, so that's kind of like something new that we're looking forward to. He is in preschool right now and goes 3 days a week, and he loves it. Like he does really well at school. And Lincoln is getting occupational health right now for his cheeks. He has some sensitivity issues in his cheeks. He actually, I started noticing that for a while he would gag all the time when he was eating, and like that's pretty normal once they start solid foods, but then it like should go away, and it never has gone away. Like he's just always gagged. He has a lot of choking incidents with food, especially apples. So we contacted like our local developmental services, and they've gotten us in with Occ Health, and they have said that he has like a sensory issue in his cheeks. He essentially like can't feel like we do, and so we have to like wake up his cheeks. So like when he eats, we like pinch his cheeks and like go like this. He like hates it, but it actually has totally been helping. And we also have an electric toothbrush that we put in there. So his Occ Health lady is coming today. She's been absolutely awesome, and Lincoln is like obsessed with her, so you know that's a plus. I'm really like impressed with Monadnock Developmental Services. I'll link them down below if you're local to me. They've like really helped us. Grant used them for speech, and his speech is completely like turned around. I mean, he like he could only say like 2 words for the longest time. And so it's great that we can get this help, and our insurance pays for it, so it's completely like free to us. But I'm trying to think, like we really I mean like I really feel like some days I like don't do much, or some weeks I don't really do very much. It's just the way it is. I feel like being a stay-at-home mom, like sometimes you have like really busy days and like really lazy days, and I feel like today's kind of like one of our lazy days, and that's okay. And you know, I was thinking maybe I should get on the treadmill. I'm tired from just like running around this morning, so I think I'm just gonna actually like lay down and just kind of relax for a little bit. And so I thought I would film this video, but I really hope that you guys have enjoyed the videos that I'm putting out. They're so much fun for me to make, and I know some of you have reached out to me and said that you really like watching them, and thank you so much. Like, it really means a lot, because I am still kind of like, I feel like embarrassed a little bit to like be talking to nothing right now, but like you're watching it, so it's not really nothing, but it feels really weird. But I have like always wanted to kind of start my own channel slash like be in front of a camera. Usually I'm behind a camera. I was a photographer. Well, I'm not was, I still sort of am, but it's definitely like more of a hobby, and always was behind the camera, and so now it's kind of interesting to be in front of it. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you haven't already, subscribe and give this video a like, and I'll see you in my next video.